Hi everyone. So I decided to start doing story time videos as well. I've kind of done them in a way in the past, but I've kind of labelled them more vlogs. Like when I've been talking about things I've done with my friends, like conventions and or just fun things I've done with my friends. I've kind of more labelled them as vlogs. But this is going to be like this is a story time vlog. Yeah, I suppose I could call them vlogs. Anyway, this is my autism diagnosis story. So, me and my mum always knew there's something different about me, that I wasn't like normal kids. I wasn't progressing as well as other kids. And I was just struggling in school. In primary school, my mum actually went to a teacher called Mr. Packwood, and at this time I was about 10, 9, 10. But she went into a school and she said, look, I want to get Eva assessed for because she's not progressing as well. So I want to assess, I want to know why she's not progressing. And every teacher my mum would go to, it was, oh, she's lazy. Oh, she just doesn't want to learn. Oh, some kids just take longer to progress. So in the end, Mr. Packwood said, look, I don't know, I can't really do anything without proof. I can't, and so I don't think Eva is lazy. I don't think Eva is acting up. I just think she is a slow progressor. So my mum went up to school. She went to the library, went to bookshops, bought as many books as she could on dyslexia. Because at the time, we just thought I was dyslexic. She went out, bought all these books, wrote every little thing down, wrote every little detail down, of things that she thought linked to me. She took it into Mr. Packwood and goes, there's your evidence. And Mr. Packwood said, okay, let me go over the books, let me see if I can see anything. And fair play to Mr. Packwood, God rest him. He took the books home and sat down with his wife, because his wife was a teacher as well, but with people with special needs and learning disabilities. And his wife looked at the notes my mum had made, looked at the books, and said to Mr. Packwood, look, I think this girl's mum is on something. So Mr. Packwood came back in and said to my mum, okay, you've got a point where I'll start pushing for Heather to be assessed. So Mr. Packwood did do that. He pushed Mr. Leary, he was the headmaster at the time, to get me assessed, which in the end I did get assessed. He finally said, okay, I'll do it. So the assessor came in, he did our assessment, went away, went back home. I said I was about 9 or 10 at this time, because I was just about ready to go to high school. So came in, did the assessment, came out, got a letter about a few weeks after, I think it was, to say that I had a learning difficulty, but they never said what kind of learning difficulty I had. It was just SLD, I think it said. So we just said, well, what does that mean? He said, oh, it just means dyslexia. So I said, okay, so final diagnosis of dyslexia. Went up to high school, still struggling. I was put into special needs unit at Emmendale Smith, and high school wasn't a happy time. I did make some good friends there, but it wasn't a happy time. So I was in special unit, and nothing else kind of progressed from the primary school assessment. The only kind of assessment they did was where they gave me some coloured paper. Like, they gave me like a red paper, blue paper, purple paper, but you can't actually see through. And they got me to put it on a book and read the book, which, because I had a strong reading age, they said they didn't pick anything up with that. And so I went through Emmerdale Smith, still just thinking I'm dyslexic. I went to John Rigby College, and things got a little bit better at John Rigby. Because I think because it was older, it was older, so it was all, at that time, I was all focusing on our careers and what jobs we wanted to do, and we was going from college. So there was a little bit of bullying going on, but not a lot. And I made some good friends there. But one good thing what happened at college was once they did a reassessment, because it had been so long since I'd been assessed, because I was only assessed in primary school and I wasn't really assessed after. So once I was reassessed, and came back again, yeah, you've got a learning difficulty. I was given access to a computer, computer I was using class, a recording device, so I could record lessons and bring it away and listen them over again. I was given extra time in exams. Oh, which I will say, I was given at Emmendale Smith. I was given extra time in my exams, or I didn't have to sit in the room where the exams was, which I chose to do, because I didn't want people saying, oh, because I got on my own, I'm getting special treatment. I wanted to do the exams with everybody else. But going back to college, I was allowed to use computers in lessons. I was allowed to record the lessons. I could, what else was I allowed? If I wanted one, I could have a reader. But as I say, because I've got quite a strong reading age, it didn't really affect me that much. Yeah, I was given a lot of help at John Rigby. Then I kind of stepped out of college for a bit. I went to Rathbones, which is a training scheme where I did childcare. But it was more like a work setting, so I didn't get much help from them. But, it was more an MBQ as well. So it was a lot of it was work-based, so it's not like I needed a lot of help. Maybe a little bit of help on the paperwork and that, and writing stuff down, but other than that, I was on my own. But I said, because it was more like a work-based placement, I kind of expected it. I went back to Wigan and Lee, and once again, I was reassessed. And this time, he goes, oh, yeah, you're dyslexic. But you also have dyscalculia, which is basically dyslexia but with numbers. They also, at that point, assessed me for dyspraxia, which kind of like, but when that came back, so no, you're fine, you're not dyspraxic. So great, okay. So, dyslexic, and I have dyscalculius. Brilliant, okay? Nothing new, nothing that I didn't I would expect. But it was good to have a name for the number blindness side as well. So, carried on, a couple more years. Went back to college, and because I decided I wanted a career change, I've been doing co-work since I was 17. And I decided with co-work, enough was enough. There was too much paperwork, too much. It was so regimented, and it just felt like some members of staff, not everybody, I'm not saying that at all, but it just felt like a lot of people wasn't in it to look after the people, and a lot of things was going on which I'm not going to get into in this video. If I did, I could get into trouble. But yeah, I'm not going to go into that side of it. So I decided to go back to college and retrain as a photographer. And I went to collect to see if I could have like the extra help, extra support, laptops, tape recorders, everything I've done in the past. And said, yeah, and right here we'll give you another assessment because it's been so long since you came. I said, okay, let's do it. Now, around this time, my mum's boss, whose daughter is also autistic, was talking to my mum, and she said to my mum, have you ever thought that Heather's autistic? And my mum was like, no, she's just dyslexic. She's always just been dyslexic. And my mum's boss said, no, seriously, Pat, there's something more than dyslexia. So I went back and I told the inclusive learner support what my mum's boss had said. And we said, okay, we'll assess you for autism. So we did the dyslexia test, dyspraxia test, and calculus test again. And they said, oh yeah, you're dyslexic and you have dyscalculus. Oh, by the way, you're a dyspraxic. And I said, hang on a minute, last time we did this test, we said I wasn't dyspraxic. We said, actually, we kind of made a mistake. You've always been dyspraxic. So I was like, okay, bombshell much. So, because we'll bring you back and we'll do an autism one. But looking at these results, we're 90% sure you have autism. So I came back, did the test for the college, and they said, yeah, we can give you an educational diagnosis of autism. Unfortunately, you've got to go to your doctor, do the assessments again for him, and then you can get a medical diagnosis of autism. So off I went to my doctor, told my doctor what they'd said. The doctor kind of brushed it under the carpet, saying, look, why do you want to know now? You're I think I was in my 30s, I'd just reached 30. By the time you don't worry about it, you've gone this far, about a diagnosis, don't worry about it. I said, no, I want a diagnosis. So I said, okay. Got a letter. Unfortunately, we can't fit you in. There's nobody that does adult diagnosis. So, kind of in limbo. At the time I wasn't working, so I have a job sent on my back saying, you're quite capable of working, there's nothing wrong with you, you're able to work. I said, no, I'm not capable of working. I struggle in a work environment because I get stressed, I get stressed. No, you're quite capable. So, kept fighting, I was fighting the doctor to get me a diagnosis. I went to the job centre and said, look, you said I'm fine, you said I'm capable of working, you get me diagnosed. And they just wouldn't, neither of them was having any of it until finally I got a advisor called Andy, who salt of the earth guy. I can't fault him. He did everything. He pushed and pushed. And in the end, he got me a letter to give to the doctor to say that the job centre wanted me to test. So the doctor relented. I finally got a letter to say I had to go to see the mental health team. And the mental health team would say if they thought I should go for an autism assessment. So I went to see the mental health, and even they turned around and said, oh, no, I really don't think you're autistic because you're able to keep eye contact with us while you're talking, and you're quite able to communicate what you're saying. And I thought, but what's that got to do with the price of fish? There are times I struggle keeping eye contact. There's times I do struggle getting across what I'm trying to say. If you watch my vlogs, you'll notice that. But they did send me to autism assessment, where I saw a woman called Sally, and she was lovely. She was so nice. She really helped me. She did everything she could. She went through assessments with me. She went through tests with me, paperwork, everything. And finally, it came back after seeing Sally for, I think it was 8 weeks. Well, 2 months, 3 months it was. She said, I can officially say you're autistic. So I went through everything in school, everything in work placements, and I was working with people with autism, and I was taking care of people with autism, and I was autistic myself, but to actually be officially told you have autism, and that even though I found out when I was 34, it's a big weight was lifted off my shoulder, and to actually say, yes, this is my diagnosis, this is why I don't do well in crowds, this is why I don't do well in stressful situations, this is why I struggle in certain situations. To have that in black and white and to be able to go to people, if it's a convention, if it's at a show, if it's something like that, to be able to say, look, can you help? Because I might struggle, it's, maybe I find out so old doesn't really matter, but, well, it does, because I say, it's a double-edged sword, really. The fact that I'm older, and I found out, makes people be a bit more, oh, but you've always been able to manage, you've always coped with it before. No, I just masked it. I wasn't able to say, look, I need help. Can you help me with this? But on the other side, I do not get that help that I need. Anyway, this was my long-winded story time video of me being diagnosed as autistic. I'm gonna do some more soon, but for now I will log off and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.